What's going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video today. Starting Miami Dolphins franchise here on Madden NFL 20. It's a new year. I'm ready to go. I got a new webcam. It should look way too high quality. I saw myself in it. I go, yikes, that's bad. But I got a big light now that makes me even brighter and whiter and pale as a ghost. But we're here to do the most. But it's Miami Dolphins franchise. If you scroll through every rating, you're going to see some mid to high 70s. Maybe even the case of the Cardinals, you see a low 70. The Giants, I know, are in a bad situation in terms of overall. You get, see some teams even into the 80s. But the Dolphins are the lowest rated team in the game, kind of by a lot. The Giants are number 2 and they're a 70. The Dolphins are a 68 overall. So this rebuild across many episodes might be a long process, but I hope you guys are along for the ride. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video. Let's make this a very like video for my first one of Madden 20 franchise mode. And also make sure to check me out on Twitter and Instagram. All those links are in the description. And I've even started a Patreon in case you guys want to get involved in some of these franchises. You guys can actually donate to the cause if you're so inclined, and you can get in the franchise as a draft pick. So if you guys are interested in that, all the links are down in the description. Once again, that's Patreon. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's create my Coach Gene Dangus. I'm ready to go. I'm going to choose the Expert Scout package. I feel like, although we have to do a lot of development with these players, this first year, I really want to get a hefty amount of draft picks and really build up the team through the draft, whether that means bringing in a new quarterback, wide receiver, running back, edge help, corner, safety. I mean, we have a number of different options and a ton of different needs, but I really just want to get the absolute most amount of scouting points that I can, and I'm going to update you guys, of course, along this entire franchise series with scouting, and maybe we see a gem one week that makes it very interesting. But I'm ready to do this. I'm super excited for Dolphins franchise. Hope you guys are as well. Of course, subscribe for rebuilds and other things, some one-off episodes for teams as well, because that absolutely will happen. But Dolphins franchise, we're going to be playing every game. It's going to be a long ride, but it's one that I'm super excited for. We'll keep the playbooks the same. So I know it's kind of tough right now. We're going to start off on All-Pro. Now, All-Pro was the better last year for difficulties. I think we're going to do All-Pro and then scale the sliders up to be more realistic, because All Madden, it makes the CPU a lot better than they should be, and then All Pro, they're maybe not quite as good as they should be. I think All Pro is going to be the best, and we can always just scale the sliders up. As far as these other settings go, we definitely want superstar abilities on. I think it's going to be fun. Injuries on, pre-existing injury on, practice squad stealing off, career clock is going to be on, so those are like scenarios and things like that. Quarter length is going to be 8 minutes. We can always scale it up, probably not down. And then as far as weekly training, I'm going to handle every single thing in here. And we are officially underway. Of course, I got to take you guys through the lineup, through the depth chart, see what kind of players we're working with. And there are a bunch of really interesting storylines that made me choose the Dolphins. If you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you've known this is going to be the Dolphins for a while. I did post a video saying that it would be the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. But this, I'm sure, is going to be a surprise to a lot of you guys. And I know there's going to be a lot of new faces here. I appreciate you giving me a shot. That's always very much appreciated. But when you check out this team, I mean, there's really no way around it. It is not a good team. Now, there are some impact players that I think are going to be very important to build around. Laremy Tunsil, of course, is going to be one of them. Now, I know you guys remember Laremy Tunsil. Like, he's probably more worried about taking gigantic bong rips with a gas mask more so than playing left tackle, but he's actually been really, really good in the NFL, and he's delivering hits more so than taking them on a national stage. Across the rest of the offensive line, we've got Michael DEITER, Daniel Kilgore. I don't even know who this is. Jesse Davis. These are replacement level players for the most part. I know Daniel Kilgore was a decent center for the 49ers for a little while. DEITER's from Wisco, right? Yeah, he's a rookie out of Wisconsin. This could be a player that we look to develop, although I probably would like to upgrade him at some point. Jordan Mills, of course, played with the Bills for a little while. He's not particularly amazing. He's 28, only a 64 overall. Probably going to look to improve upon that, if at all possible. At tight end, I like where we are. I think I'm probably going to start Mike Gesicki over Dwayne Allen. I just appreciate his athleticism a whole lot more. Young player, was a very high pick for the Dolphins a couple years ago now at this point, or I guess last year, excuse me, but 2 drafts ago. You guys know what I mean. But he's got good speed. He's got excellent jumping. 82 speed, 82 catching. His jumping is... Am I missing it? Where's jumping? It's got to be good. He jumped out the gym at the combine. I guess it's not as important because he's a tight end. Because maybe you'd show it as a running back with hurdling. But you'd show it as a wide receiver too. I don't know. Where's jumping? I need to know what it is. It's a 94. 94 is fairly good. That's got to be one of the higher jumpings in the entire game. Of course, you're talking about a guy like Byron Jones at the Cowboys that has got to have maxed out jumping. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other positions, the skill positions, maybe a little bit more interesting to you guys. With the wide receivers, we are in a really, really interesting spot. Because, in my opinion, there are no real stars here, but there are guys that are maybe waiting to become that. So Kenny Stills, getting a little bit older now. He's probably 27, 28. Not that old, but this is not exactly a player that I would imagine would develop extremely quickly. He does have star development, but he is 27. I'm unsure how regression and progression has been changed in Madden 20. Of course, you guys are going to figure that out along with me. But he's got good speed, route running, and catching. Kenny Stills instantly is our #1 target. I think that's fairly obvious. And then when you take a look at Albert Wilson, this is a player I would like to replace. I know he's 27. I know he has star development. Maybe he's a beast for us and he turns into a monster. I don't really see that happening. I'm not sure how much of the offense he'll be involved in. He's not that tall, 5'9". He's a slot guy, really, is what we're going to use him as. I really want to see the progression of DeVante Parker. I think he's a prototypical #2, maybe an extra Z at some point. But right now, we're going to leave him at 2. DeVante Parker, I know, they say it every year. This is going to be his breakout year. I think finally, at least in the game, this is going to be DeVante Parker's breakout year. He's always injured, hasn't really lived up to his first-round draft pick out of Louisville a number of years ago. But he still looks pretty solid, man. He's got good speed, he's got good size, he's got great catching. 86 catching traffic, 89 spectacular catch. These are really, really good stats. All he needs to be able to do is stay healthy, stay in the field, and start producing. I know that's a lot to ask. JAKEEM Grant, one of the most electric players in the NFL that no one's ever heard of. He's a beast returner. He does so many different things. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's basically like a worse Tyreek Hill. He just hasn't elevated his receiving game the way Tyreek Hill has out of college, but instantly you see 96 speed, 95 acceleration, very, very good, 91 agility. You see his ball carrier vision's high, elusiveness high, juke move, break tackle. All these things are pretty high. He could be a really interesting player for us. Bryce Butler is also here. I'm going to let you guys know right now I have no interest in Bryce Butler or Isaiah Ford. They're just not guys that I see as impact makers on this team. Although what I will say is a player I'd like to get involved more is Preston Williams. He was an undrafted rookie free agent out of Colorado State and was really, really productive there. Was really solid. He's going to make the roster for this team, but he's not on it at the moment. He might be on the practice squad. We have Ricardo Lewis here as well. I'll tell you right now, I will be promoting Preston Williams from the practice squad if that's where he is. I don't see him. Where's Preston Williams? I need to find that out. All right, so I just got done talking to Moonlight Swami, Andre Weingarten on Twitter. He is one half of the ratings and basically roster management team from Madden. And he said, Preston Williams, not in the game yet. He will be in the roster update. He didn't sign his agreement until recently. I said, is that going to be on the 2nd of August? He said, it may even be sooner. I'm like, all right, good looks. And he goes, he was fun as S to make. Sorry, I'm exposing you, Swami. But that sounds like good things for this team across the future. So I'm really excited for that. We might delay the franchise just a little bit until he gets into the game. We're not really going to be doing anything too impactful here at this moment. We're just kind of introducing you guys to the players on this roster, setting the table for what this franchise series is going to be. Really won't take all that much to redo some of the things, but you guys are going to be along for the ride. I think it's going to be quite good. So, yeah, let's get back into it. Preston Williams will be in the game. Other guys will be in the game. That's where they're not right now. So, Preston Williams, I imagine he's going to be my 5th receiver. I'll probably play him over Bryce Butler or Isaiah Ford. Of course, if you guys have suggestions, comments, criticism, suggestions. Did I already say that? Just let me know down in the comments section below, as you guys always do, so that's very nice. Let's go ahead and talk about the backfield, man. At quarterback, we've got quite the interesting scenario. Now, we do have Fitzmagic. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a 75 overall, is very old, is obviously not the future of this team. A 36-year-old quarterback. That face scan, is that a face scan? Interesting. He looks like if Santa is like, let me go ahead and dye my beard and hair. That looks so unnatural. That's funny. Man, he's got no throw power, decent accuracy, I guess, good break sack, decent speed. He's not actually that bad. But I think the future of this team is going to be decided in preseason because it's Josh Rosen's job to lose as far as franchise if I'm running it. His face scan, obviously, a lot more accurate. 70 overall. Star development, though, I think is the big thing here. He's only 22. As you guys can see, right under the 70 overall, he's 3,000 out of about 3,800 XP needed to get another skill point. And that's just such a small amount compared to what Ryan Fitzpatrick has at, what, 38,000? 57,000. I'm not even close. It's so much. So Rosen's going to progress way faster. He will be the starting quarterback. He does have similar throw power. 87 isn't anything crazy. He is a bit faster. Doesn't exactly break sacks quite as well, but you guys know me. I'm such a great QB. I get the ball out very quickly. I'll probably never take any sacks, right? Watch Giants franchise, man. It was a disaster. But he's got decent enough accuracy. And then Jake Rudock, I don't think will be an impactful player for us. Who is the starting fullback here? Chandler Cox, a rookie out of Auburn. Didn't really look at him leading up into the draft. We do have Durham Smythe, I saw. Maybe he'll play at some point. He was okay at Notre Dame. That's about as much as I can say. But the backfield is a really, really fun area because we have Kenyan Drake, who people probably are not going to want me to replace him. I don't know, though. It kind of depends what's in the draft. He's only 25. He really had a great season last year, and he's a really underrated player. Didn't really play a whole lot at Alabama just because of their running back by committee sort of thing, and he was behind Derrick Henry, right? Who was the Heisman winner there, so that's understandable. He didn't play all that much, but he's fresh and he's really coming into his own now as a starter in Miami. He's only 25. Star development. He can fly. 91 speed, 78 break tackle is quite good. 90 juke move. He's a really solid player. Is he the future of the running back position on this team? Remains to be seen. Now, Kalen Ballage, that is a fun player. Kalen Ballage is built like a Brinks truck, man. He's huge. 6'2", 237, built like a bowling ball, honestly. Still can fly, 91 speed, 78 break tackle. But he's got 85 trucking, 77 strength. He, obviously is going to be our goal line type player. Mark Walton Jr. is here. MYLES Gaskin as well. Walton, not really sure how impactful he was last year. Not that fast, but gets up to his top speed fairly quickly. Doesn't really do anything particularly well, but isn't bad. And then MYLES Gaskin, of course, I believe he was an undrafted rookie free agent that the Dolphins brought in out of Washington. Normal development here. Another guy that doesn't really do anything particularly well other than hold on to the football, which is a good trait for a running back to have. Let's go ahead and check out the defensive side of the ball. And it's an interesting one. We'll start with the linebackers. Kiko Alonso. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the clip where he runs over the wrong sideline when the Dolphins are playing the Ravens. And I hate to make light of that situation, but if you've ever been able to pre-diagnose CTE, that was certainly a scenario where that happened. He has not been close to the same player he was as a rookie with the Buffalo Bills. He was such a monster and, again, hasn't been close to that, so that's probably a player at some point we'll look to upgrade. Jerome Elliott's here. Not really sure how much he's going to play. And at middle linebacker, we're in an interesting spot because Chase Allen is not a starting caliber player on this team. I'm going to look to upgrade him, but he's not slow. 86 speed is not bad. Might get AVG involved, Andrew Van Ginkel. RAEKWON McMillan is going to be the man, though. This is the guy that's going to do damage. He's got star development. Only 23 years old. Another guy that if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a monster for us. 86 speed, 82 hit power, 83 tackle. Not the best in coverage, but this is a guy that's going to stop the run routinely. That's what we need him to do. Jerome Baker, one of the most exciting players on this team that, again, pretty much no one's ever heard of. Ohio State teammate of RAEKWON McMillan. Only normal development, but he progressed so quickly as someone that was not even drafted that high at all. I'm not even sure where he went, but it was not high at all if he even got drafted. I can't remember. Apologies for that. I wonder if I can look into it in stats and contract. I wonder if they have that. 3rd round pick. Yeah, okay, so that's not particularly high. That kind of is. I thought he went like 6th maybe, but I couldn't quite remember. So 3rd round pick is not all that bad, but he was really, really solid last year. Made a lot of plays for the Dolphins on what wasn't a great team. He has 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 84 pursuit, 83 tackle. Another guy that just can absolutely fly. Someone we're going to look to build around, Nate Orchard as well. It's not a terrible linebacking core for the future. We have 2 studs to build around in RAEKWON McMillan and Jerome Baker. When you look at the secondary, Minkah Fitzpatrick, obviously a young monster, kind of like a safety corner hybrid out of Alabama that has been pretty good for the Dolphins. It was only his rookie year last year. He has some stuff to improve upon, but he was solid, man. 90 speed, 79 zone coverage, 79 pursuit, 87 play rec. Good man coverage, so he can do either man or zone, and he can hit. He can play in the box. Block shed isn't quite as high as you'd want it to be, but this is a guy that we could keep at free safety, which is probably his most natural fit. We could move him to slot cornerback. We can do a lot of different things. TJ McDonald's also here. His contract isn't great. We're going to get to another safety with an even worse contract. TJ McDonald is going to be a rotational player at best for us. He's a guy that isn't all that good, but look at his contract, and it's not great for his ability. Is what it is, in my opinion. The Dolphins' contract situations have been handled really, really poorly, and there's no bigger example of that of Reshad Jones. Now, do not get me wrong. Reshad Jones has been very, very good for the Dolphins. He is 31 now. Does have star development, 83 overall. This is a player I'm looking to upgrade. We might even trade him, which is going to be tough for Dolphins fans to bear. But trust me, I think it's going to be the best down the road because he's only going to start regressing. And you look at his contract, they gave him such a big deal as he was like turning 30 after a huge injury. Look at his cap hit. It's over 17 million, and that does decrease a little bit as the rest of his contract plays out, but this is so much money to give to somebody that is only declining and is aging, coming off injury. That contract makes no sense to me, but he's still a good player. Might look to move him before the deadline. I know this isn't baseball, but I don't think we're going to trade him at the start. Do I really want TJ McDonald or Walt Aikens going into the starting strong safety role? Probably not. Cornerback is a different scenario. Now, Xavier Howard's a really cool player. Superstar development is awesome. He's going to be the guy for us. He's going to be very, very good. But as his stats show you, or at least his attributes as they kind of tell the tale, this is a very make-or-break player, or hit or miss, I should say. Now, Xavier Howard had some games where he looked like the best cornerback in the NFL last year. He had some games where he was really, really bad. He's a little bit penalty-prone. Hopefully that doesn't show up too much in this franchise. But he's got a super high ceiling. Could be an incredible player. We're going to have to see how we use him and how he develops. But he's got good enough zone coverage, good jumping, acceleration, speed. Should have pretty high catching. Caught a number of interceptions last year. 74 is pretty good. And again, that superstar development is going to be really, really helpful. Look at Eric Rowe. Probably look to improve upon him. Bobby McCain, Torrey McTyer, and Cordrea Tankersley isn't a great cornerback group. It really is not. The defensive line is slightly better. Devon Godshaw was really good at LSU, and he's finally coming into his own now for the Miami Dolphins. He was good last year. Of course, first-round pick out of Clemson, just an absolute monster. In Christian Wilkins, I expect him to play a huge role in this franchise. Now, when you look at Christian Wilkins, of course, you see that his development is hidden. It could be star. It could even be superstar or superstar X Factor. Obviously, we know it's not superstar X Factor or even superstar. I think it's star, but we'll find out when he plays 500 snaps. Looks pretty good, man. Good enough strength at 86, good block shed, power move, 72 speed, 80 tackle. He's a guy that should be really, really solid for us. 83 pursuit as well. I'm excited. 79 hit power. He's already ranked inside the top 50 for defensive tackles. Of course, was, I think, 13 overall by the Dolphins. It was great value for him, man. He's an impact player, and I hope he's going to be great for us in this franchise. Also have Akeem Spence, Big Vince Taylor, Adolphus Washington. Charles Harris was a first-round pick that really has not panned out all that much for the Dolphins so far. We'll see if that changes over the course of this franchise. Of course, rookie out of Georgia, Jonathan Ledbetter. Where was he drafted? Was he a 5th-round pick? I feel like he might have been a 5th-round pick. I like how you can see it. I didn't even know if you could. He's got some great glasses on those. He's looking sharp. He went undrafted, really. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Clearly, over the course of what we're learning, I have no idea when these players got drafted. Some of them. Tank Carradine's also there. Jonathan Woodard. Jonathan, yeah, I don't know why I second-guessed myself for a second. Is not a great situation at right end at all. Tank Carradine might have some okay numbers. 80 speed, 80 tackle, 84 strength. Doesn't really have great power or finesse move or block shed. It's going to be a competition to see who gets a lot of snaps here, because if players aren't playing well, I'm going to rotate guys in and out. As far as special teams go, could be a lot worse. Jason Sanders is young, isn't terrible, 92 kick power. I think he's going to be quite good enough. And then we have a star development punter in Matt Hack, who's also young, also has quite a leg. 96 kick power on him is going to be a lot of fun. And you guys know I'm going to be punting the ball quite frequently. I am the best punter on YouTube, and now I know a lot of people wouldn't wear that crown proudly as you are punting. It's not exactly what you want to be, but I accept it. I know what I am. Mark Walton is our returner next to JAKEEM Grant. Daniel Kilgore is the long snapper, and Hack is the kickoff specialist. And as far as specialist goes, Jerome Baker will be the sub linebacker. I think I'm going to keep pretty much everything as is, and then we're just kind of going to wait until guys like Preston Williams get added onto the roster. So they definitely will be. Our schedule for this season is as follows. We've got the Falcons, Bucks, Jags, and Saints in the preseason. Not sure how much preseason I'm going to play at this exact moment, but we'll see. I said every game. The preseason, kind of an exception. Might play the moments in preseason or something like that. You guys let me know down in the comments section below. And then in the regular season, we've got the Ravens at home, Patriots at home, go on the road to face the Cowboys in Week 3, Chargers in Week 4, Redskins in Week 6, going back on the road for a quick stint against the Bills, and then Steelers in Week 8, Jets in Week 9 back home before going to Indianapolis to play the Colts versus the Bills at home in a nice divisional matchup there in Week 11 before going into Cleveland to face the new-look Browns. That's going to be a really tough game. You got the Eagles at home in Week 13. That's going to be tough. A lot of these games are going to be tough, man. This is not a very talented roster, unfortunately. Then we got the New York combo. Of course, the Jets and Giants both play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We might as well not even leave. Got Week 14 and Week 15. I wonder what the Dolphins are going to do in real life, because it wouldn't make a whole ton of sense to leave New Jersey during that time, but where are you going to practice? You going to share the facility? It seems unlikely. Not really sure. I guess they go back to Miami. Got the Bengals in Week 16, and then the Patriots in Week 17 in New England. Probably pencil that in as a win. We'll see how the team progresses, but I guess that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm super excited to start Dolphins franchise. I have high hopes. I think it's going to be a great series. I think you guys are going to enjoy it quite a bit. So if you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to have some gameplay going on. I know this episode didn't exactly have much in the way of gameplay, but I want to let you guys know about the creation of the series, some of the roster, the lineup. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are as well. But that's going to do it for me. We're going to start making some roster moves maybe in the next episode, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
Are you the queen?